Hey y'all, today I'm going to show you how to crochet this ear warmer. I have several examples here. This ear warmer is a really quick crochet project and you can use just about any weight of yarn with it. To start out, you're going to make a slip knot and chain 15. And now we're going to work a herringbone half double crochet in the second chain from the hook. We're in the first chain here, and there's the second one. We're going to be working in the back bump of the stitch. Here's where you would normally work. Just turn that stitch towards you, and right there's your back bump. Right there. To me, it just gives a cleaner looking foundation when you do that. So to herringbone half double crochet, you're going to yarn over, go into that back bump right there, yarn over, pull back through, and you'll slip into this loop here, just like that. Now you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through both loops. And that's a herringbone half double crochet. And now we're going to single crochet in the next stitch. So go into that back bump again and single crochet. And we'll herringbone half double crochet in the next stitch. So yarn over, go into that back bump, yarn over, pull back through, and slip into that first loop. Yarn over, pull through both loops. Single crochet in the next, and we're just going to continue to alternate this. Single crochet, herringbone half double crochet, and we'll just keep alternating these stitches until we get to the end of the row. Be sure to be going into the back bumps, herringbone half double crochet in the next. So keep alternating these and I'll meet you at the last stitch in the row. Okay, I am finishing up the last stitch in the row, which is a single crochet. So you should have 14 stitches. And now you'll chain 1, turn your work, and now you're going to herringbone half double crochet in the first stitch in this row, which is right there. So yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull back through, and slip into that loop there. Yarn over, pull through both loops. And single crochet in the next stitch. We're just going to repeat the previous row, alternating herringbone half doubles and single crochets. Last stitch here, which is a single crochet. You should have 14 stitches. And now you're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. Turn your work. Now this row is going to be made up of herringbone double crochet stitches and regular double crochet stitches. So we're going to start out with a herringbone double crochet. Yarn over, go into your first stitch here, yarn over, pull back through, slip into that first loop, yarn over, pull through the very first loop only, yarn over, and pull through both loops. And that's a herringbone double crochet. Now you're going to work a regular double crochet. And now you'll work a herringbone double crochet. So yarn over, go into your next stitch, yarn over, pull back through, slip into that loop, yarn over, pull through the first loop only, yarn over and pull through both loops. And that's a herringbone double crochet. Now you'll work a regular double crochet, And just keep alternating those until you get to the end of the row, and I'll meet you back at that point. Okay, I just worked my last stitch, which is a double crochet. And as you can see, the herringbone double crochets just give you a little bump there. Just gives it a little bit of texture. Now you're going to chain 2, turn your work, and repeat the previous row. So herringbone double crochet in the first stitch, double crochet in the next, herringbone double in the next, and just keep repeating those stitches. I'm on my last stitch here, which is a double crochet. And now you're going to chain 2. 1 and 2, turn your work, herringbone double crochet in the first stitch. We're just repeating the previous row, double crochet in the next. I promise the next row is going to be different. Yarn over and herringbone in this one, herringbone double, regular double crochet, and just keep repeating those. I'm on my last stitch, which is a double crochet. And now you're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. And we're going to double crochet, just a regular double crochet in the first stitch. And put a regular double crochet in the next stitch. And in the next stitch, we're going to work a bobble stitch. To work a bobble stitch, you're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over, go into your stitch again, yarn over, pull back through, pull through the first 2 loops again, yarn over, go into your stitch, yarn over, pull back through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops again. We're going to repeat this 2 more times. So yarn over, go into your stitch, yarn over, pull back through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, go into your stitch, yarn over, pull back through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. Now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on your hook. Now you're going to yarn over, pull through the first 5 loops, yarn over, and pull through those 2 loops. And that's your first bobble stitch. Okay, in the next 2 stitches, we're going to work double crochets. So yarn over, double crochet, yarn over, and double crochet in the next stitch. You can just poke that bobble stitch out there. And we're going to bobble stitch in the next stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull back through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, go back into the stitch, yarn over, pull back through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. 2 more times, yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull back through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. Last one, yarn over, go into your stitch, yarn over, pull back through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 5 loops. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. Now double crochet in the next 2 stitches, so double crochet and double crochet. So that's the repeat for this row. 2 double crochets, a bobble stitch, 2 double crochets, and a bobble stitch. So we just worked 2 double crochets, so now we're going to work a bobble stitch. Yarn over, go into your stitch, yarn over, pull back through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, and repeat that 4 more times. So yarn over, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over, pull through the first 5 loops. Yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. Now work 2 double crochets. Alright, we have 1 more bobble stitch in this row and then 2 more double crochets and we'll be finished with this row. Okay, and this is what we have so far. And these are the repeats for the pattern. So our next 2 rows will be herringbone half double crochet and single crochets. And then the next 3 rows after that will be herringbone double crochets and double crochets. And then we'll do another row of double crochet and bobble stitches. So chain 1, turn your work. We're going to herringbone half double crochet in the first stitch, single crochet in the next, herringbone half double, single crochet, and keep repeating that until you get to the end of this row, and I will meet you back at that point. Alright, I'm at the last stitch in this row, which is a single crochet. Now I'm going to chain 1 and move on to the next row, which is just a repeat of that row. So you're going to herringbone half double crochet and single crochet, herringbone half double, and single crochet, and just keep repeating that. And now chain 2, and we'll move on to the herringbone double crochet row. So your herringbone double crochet in the first stitch, double crochet like normal in the next, and just keep repeating that. And you're going to repeat that for this row, the next row, and the next row. And I'll meet you back at that point. Okay, I just finished my last double crochet in the last row of the herringbone double crochet rows. And this is what our work should look like now. And this is the repeat for the pattern. So you just keep repeating this until you're about 2 inches from your desired length. And I usually end on a bobble stitch row. I kept repeating these rows until I reached about 19.5 inches. It took me 47 rows to reach 19.5 inches, which is an adult-sized ear warmer. So what I usually do is I keep repeating these rows until I am 2 inches from my desired length, and then I work all of the rows again except for the bobble stitch, and those should be about 2 inches. I reached 17.5 inches and ended on a bobble stitch row. And then I worked rows 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 again, and that got me to my 19.5 inches. So you can easily adjust this pattern for any size that you need just by using measurements. And this ear warmer is about 4 inches wide. If you want it wider, just increase the amount of chains that you chain for your foundation row. Or if you want it smaller, just decrease the amount of chains. But just be sure that your chain is an odd number. If you work this pattern based on measurements, you can even change the weight of yarn that you use. I used a little bit thicker yarn for this black one and went up 2 hook sizes, and it worked out just fine. Just be sure to measure as you go. And this is what it looks like finished. This is the same brand of yarn that I was using for the tutorial. I'm using Greybeard in this tutorial, and this one is Rosy Cheeks. And I'm using a Furls Odyssey hook, and it's size I, which is a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. I'm a really tight crocheter though, so you could use a different hook size if you wanted to, but again, just be sure that you measure as you go. So let me show you how to achieve this look. So with your right side facing you like this, you're going to fold it in half. Now you have the wrong side facing out. This is your wrong side. So all your bobble stitches should be poked out in there. So before you go any further, go ahead and attach your yarn to your needle. This will just make life so much easier. Now, go ahead and take this end and fold it like that in half. And take this end and fold it in half. And for the normal twisted look, you're going to put all of this together like that and sew it. But we're doing an X. We're going to have an X twisted look. So you're going to interlock them, but we're not going to quite go all the way in there. We're just going to go about halfway and leave some gaps over here on the side. Get everything nice and tidy. So be sure you have your gaps over here. And you want to make sure you're going to go through both loops whenever you go through each row. And you go through all 4 rows here. So what I do is I kind of lift up as I go. So I've got 2 loops and 3 rows. Last row right here is the 4th row. And I've got 2 loops. So then gently pull through there. And then I just give it a little tug. And now you're going to come back through. So make sure you've got 2 loops. Next row, 2 loops. Next row, 2 loops. And the next row, 2 loops. And now pull through. Give it a little tug. Go on to the next row. There's our 2 and 2 and 2. In the last row, whoop, and the last row, 2. And pull through there. Okay, got our 2 loops. Go to the next one. We've got our 2 loops. There's one down here. Let's go down there and get that and pull it up. Got our 2 loops there. And then the last row, we'll pick up those 2 loops there. Okay. Give that a slight tug. And now we're going to take these 2 holes here And we're going to pull those together like this. Grab your yarn needle. And I'm going to move my work around because it's going to be easier for me to do it this way. So there's our first two right here. 2 loops for the first one, 2 loops for the second one. Pull through. The next one, 2 loops and 2 loops. Pull through. Go to the next one. And I always be sure to get this little corner right here too. So give it a slight tug. And then before I weave in my ends, I always turn it right side out and make sure everything looks okay. Give it a couple little tugs there. Okay, everything looks fine, so I flip it back and then I just weave in both ends and it's finished. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and that you have fun crocheting these ear warmers. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below and I will be happy to respond to you. And happy crocheting!